For close to 40 years, McEver Road United Methodist Church has been serving the South Hall community. We have helped to feed the hungry and minister to the lost, lonely, and brokenhearted. We've worked at food banks, worked at Good News at Noon, done mission work here and in other states, and been a strong presence in scouting programs for girls and boys. We've had entertainment and drama events for enlightenment as well as fun, and even sponsored golf tournaments and road races. We've been on this hill in Oakwood for quite a while, but now the time has come to make a change. The church has become much more about outreach rather than simply staying within the walls of the building. We have a commandment to go and make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world, and a vision to love Christ, love people, and help people love Christ. And that has become tougher to do in our present location. Quite simply, we have outgrown these facilities, nice as they are, and have very little room for expansion on our present campus. In order for us to accomplish our mission and mandate, the leadership of the church has suggested we make a move to another roomier and more visible location. Listen to what our people have to say.
Well, the church was open to change because they knew they couldn't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. So I came in and actually changed the culture a little bit, which got us focused on outside the church, and things just took off. These are good folks. They're open to doing what needs to be done. God probably worked on me probably 6 months prior to bringing that to the church for a vote to move. We were growing so fast that we're starting to run out of room, and you've got to stay ahead of that. You don't want to get behind that growth curve. But the other thing was, we began to realize that the facility that we have here, and we have a nice facility here, it really is, but it's not designed for the 21st century and to do the things that we need to do to build the kingdom of God here in South Hall County. If we don't do this, a couple of things are going to happen. We're pretty much at our limits right now, growth-wise. But it's not all about growth either. We want to be able to have a facility where we can go beyond the walls of the church and build community. Our current facility really doesn't meet that vision right now. So we have to do two things. We have to continue to grow, because if you're not growing, you're dying. But the main thing is we want to reach the community for Jesus Christ. We're talking about a 3-year commitment above and beyond your current level of giving. And we do practice extravagant generosity here. We exceeded our giving goal last year with a good number. The people here at this church give extravagantly already. But this is going to be sacrificial giving. We're going to say above and beyond what you're giving now, not just taking your what you're giving now and splitting it in half or a third for this, a third this. This is above that giving. God's in all of this, yeah, I'm excited to be here. These are great people to work with, especially those that, it's tough if you're somewhere where they grieve the Spirit. We don't grieve the Spirit here. We let the Spirit lead.
Yes, it is. It's about the relationships, I think, that we build with the people here. We don't just pop in on Sunday morning for Sunday morning worship and then go straight home. We're here for fellowship before the service starts. We stay for fellowship after the service, and then we have Sunday school together. And we just fellowship with each other. We get to know the people that are here, and it's like coming to a reunion every Sunday. You check on how's your mom and them, and it's just family, and I feel like there's something missing when we're not here.
I believe that it'll really put us to where we can really carry God's message. In this county, to so many different people, from the youth to the senior citizens to the homeless to everybody, because we can provide a place where we can open our doors and we can make it like a safe haven. What I imagine is that when you say McEver Road, when we move, they'll say, you know, how'd you get, you know, because we want to teach people how to manage money. We want to teach people to do all these things. And when somebody gets back on their feet, they're going to say, how'd you do that? And they say, well, I went down to McEver Road and they helped me get started. I think you're going to see us, we're going to plateau. We're going to get to a certain point, and then that's all we're going to do. And eventually you're going to see things change. We'll move, probably get a different pastor. We'll probably, everything will change. I think it'll start going downhill, because I think it's like in your personal life. You got to be changing. You got to be growing spiritually all the time, and I think the church does too. You got to motivate them. I think the biggest thing is to sit down and pray and ask for God to give you the guidance, because that's what we did. We prayed together and we asked God to give us the guidance on what He thinks we should do, and we've been doing that since we started talking about it, because we're real serious about it and committed to that. And I think that's the other thing. What is your commitment? Prayerfully look at your commitment to God and to this church. How committed are you to it?
You got to do something, because, like they said, if you don't get some younger people in and some more people, for example, my age, we're on the way out, and you got to have somebody to keep the church going. And I think at another location, this is kind of hard to get out. It's not too hard to get in, but the traffic is a problem here, and the parking, and so I think it would be a good thing.
I think we're going to gradually go away. The crowd's going to go to another place. And we really need to get somewhere where we can get more youth in. We need youth bad, because mostly everybody here is getting several years on them. And so we need some youth real bad. I think it's just learning and being friends with each other, being family.
For example, when we changed this sanctuary over, we did a lot of the work, most all of it. And we just come in just like it was a work day. You come in about 8 o'clock in the morning, we stayed about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and people would come in and help. At different times, some of them was working, and well, I had just retired, and me and Bradshaw, we was the gophers. We'd go get stuff to keep the carpenters and electricians and all working, and I don't know, I just really did enjoy it, and most of the time, someone would bring in lunch.
Yeah, the ladies would do that.
And that was a treat, and everybody seemed to enjoy that. And we worked together and did a good job of saving the church financials, of turning the pulpit around like it is today. And we enjoyed it, had a good time.
I think we can see it almost every week, that as we continue to reach out into the community and bring more people into the family of McEver Road, we are past the capacity of what we're able to do here. And so the opportunity to be in a location where we can make those connections grow exponentially and be able to truly serve God's purpose without constraints around us, I think is what's critically important. And I think that we've seen the congregation come together as wholly as I've ever seen, to say, yes, we believe God is in this and this is what we need to do.
I think so, because before we started coming here, I would drive by this church weekly and honestly didn't necessarily know it was here because it was tucked away up on a hill. But I drove by, twice a week. And I think that if we are in a place that's more visible from the road and closer to a community instead of businesses, closer to neighborhoods, closer to schools, that will help us reach out.
Oh, I think prayer's central. I think as we think about moving the church, that just the thought of moving came from God. And I think each step along the way, God's there to direct us if we listen. But the only way that we can listen is to have a conversation, and that comes through prayer.
We started coming here about 5 years ago. I just moved up to Gainesville and was looking for a church, grew up a church, always went to church where I was from, and Googled Methodist churches in the area and had passed by here a couple times, and so we started coming and we haven't gone anywhere else since.
I mean, to put it simply, I guess it's just I mean, you can just feel the love as soon as you walk through the doors. Felt it from day one, and it just keeps going on top every time. Just the space really. Kind of showed today at the service. We were kind of crammed in there. More openness, more inviting. You walk into a room with packed full of people, it's not very inviting, or you don't really feel like you can stay. You walk into a bigger place, it's a little easier to kind of sit in. I think it's just growing.
What the church tries to do to love Christ, love people, help people love Christ, we can't do everything that we want to do in the facilities that we currently have. So I know they talk about needing showers if we need to house people. We don't have showers to clean them. So we need a better facility to love people, love Christ, and help people love Christ.